Dude, this is HK58. Oh, and hello to all Magic players. I should start saying that. Today I'm going to talk about some card advantage and ramping spells, creatures, etc. that I could see be made into Modern to be used in some sort of deck one way or another. I will have a link in the description below on how I can see these can be implemented into Modern outside of going through Standard, since some cards tend to always be too strong for Standard. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. First one's Veteran Explorer. If this creature dies, all players, can search for 2 basic land cards and put them into play. Just puts them into play so you can ramp. If you have a way of killing this on turn 2, you can ramp and play another 2-drop spell or something like that, so you can just get ahead of your opponent, but at the same time it's still boosting your opponent. So I don't know if there would be any broken strategies with this, which I'm curious to look it up after I finish this video. But yeah, it'd be kind of cool to see some sort of group friend card in Modern, see if it is ever ran. If not, no worries. It'll just sit in the sideline like normally does until a future deck may use it. The next card is Wild Growth. It's just like a Topiary Sprawl, or the 1 mana enchantment in Modern that adds for any color if the land is tapped. So it's just another one of those cards to boost those enchantment strategy decks. Will it be ran? Probably. As a 4 or 5 of, giving another mana ramp fixing. The next card, Nature's Lore. This one I'd like to see in Modern, because I know we already have a rampant growth for basic lands, but it'd be kind of cool to see Nature's Lore, where it says search the library for any forest cards. So this is any of the shock lands that have forest in its title. Put it onto the battlefield and shuffle your library. So it'd be kind of a cool way to search out one of those dual lands even. So I don't see where this one would be too much of a problem. And to be honest, since this can be thrown into Standard, because there's only, well, right now, current Standard, they have 2 different types of ally color dual lands that can be snagged outside of the forest. I don't see it being broken. I don't see where this could be broken. But, it'd be kind of cool to see what decks will run it and what won't. Just another cool little ramp card aside from Rampant Growth. Even in a mono green deck, this thing is really good. So you want to play a 1-drop and a 2-drop on turn 2. Play this 2-drop, and then you play your 1-drop after you get to forest. Easier said than done, or easily done. The next card is Truce, an older card. Sorry about that. So 3 mana. Each player may draw up to 2 cards. For each card less than 2, any player draws that, or for each card less than 2, any player draws, that player gains 2 life. Yes, this is one of those ones, because I personally would like to see some more card draw engines in a way for White. I know White doesn't really have them. White's probably the least one to get them outside of, you play a spell and maybe you get a ramped card. There's a knight that ramps you a mana, or you do get a draw card when you play a card, but I'd like to see a little bit more support, and it'd be kind of cool to see what this does. It's an instant though, and it can also gain you life in a pinch, so it has that for you, but you really obviously would rather draw the 2 cards than gain the 2 life. So, but yeah, it'd be kind of cool to see. I don't know if this would even be ran. Maybe it might be. It might be ran in some of those, if any, blue-white strategy where they're trying to get your opponent to draw a ton of cards, mill a ton of cards, etc. This might be handy in that one, as it draws you as well. Dream Cache. 3 mana, draw 3, and then choose 2 from your hand to put on either the top or the bottom of your library. Kind of a weird 3 mana it's not Brainstorm. I will say that it's not Brainstorm, but it has that kind of similar feel to it. We draw 3, and then usually Brainstorm puts them back on top, but this one puts either on top or bottom. I don't know where this one would fit in Modern. However, it may be used in some strategy decks, budget decks, etc. And as well as it is pretty efficiently costed for modern and maybe even standard. It's not too powerful because it's not a one-drop like Ponder or Preordain that's banned in modern. It's not Brainstorm. It has a similar feel to Brainstorm, but it's not Brainstorm. So, let's see what comes of it. Werebear, another ramp card I'd love to see in modern. There's so many decks that run cards in your graveyard. So a 2-mana 1/1 to ramp, or a 2-mana 3/3 that ramps would be kind of cool. Or, sorry, a 4/4 that would ramp and would also give you a powerful beater. Would be kind of cool to see in modern. I don't see where this could be a bad card in modern. And if they bring Threshold back in standard, this one might be one of those viable cards to come back in standard. Worn Power Stone. 3 mana, enters the battlefield tapped, and then add 2 colorless mana, 2 mana pool. This one can be close to where people probably don't want to see this in modern. But it does come into play tapped, so there's kind of an upside to that, to being too powerful for modern. So this one is one of those ones definitely I could have thought of putting on my another video I'm going to be making on cards that may be too powerful for modern, but they can still be tested to see how well they do, and if they're too powerful, don't throw them in. And this one can fit on that list. I just threw it in here because it's another ramping based card. So you could tell me, would you think it'd be powerful, or because I know it'd be pretty good in a colorless deck by far. Like if you decide to make a true colorless Tron deck, this is one of them. And there's already a ton of artifact removal, so there are some artifacts that shut this card down. So this one's definitely one. You can tell me what you think on them. Excuse me. Next one is Thought Vessel. 2 mana. You have no maximum hand size, and you add a mana to your mana pool. A colorless to your mana pool. Technically colorless, but this one hasn't had the changed logo update. I know this probably won't be ran because Mind Stone is better because it draws you a card. However, some decks might run both. And you have that added no maximum hand size in case you wish to use it for some sort of way to have no maximum hand size if you draw too many cards, in case of you don't have the room to fit Reliquary Tower. I'm not saying it's the greatest or the worst, but it's out there. Budget friendly. It's against the odds / rogue deck building friendly, so give it a chance. And this one can easily fit into standard. Standard might use it more than modern, for sure. Especially, I wouldn't say make it to where it would be a good card in I'm going to draw a ton of cards and keep a ton of cards in my hand deck, but you never know. Some of those decks slip through sometimes. The next one is Acrylus Explorer. There's a knight that does something similar, which is better. However, this card, I will admit, is a pretty decent, another card that would actually work because it's any X-Planes cards. So it would get the Shocklands, as well as the fact as it's a colorless and a white, instead of a white that the Knight of White Orchid is. So this would fit into multicolored strategies. So 2 mana 2/2 ramp you. This one I don't see it making it into standard. I could see it be more of one of those ways that I suggested that I have in my video that I made about how this card can be thrown into modern. So let's see how it goes. The next one, whoop, you didn't see that. The next one is Yavimaya Elder. A colorless, a green, 2/1. When Yavimaya Elder is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you may search your library for 2 basic lands, reveal them and put them into your hand, then shuffle your library, and then you can also sack it to draw a card. I'm not saying this would be used a lot, because this 3 mana spot in most decks that have green like to run Eternal Witness, which is better. But having this as another 3 mana slot option would be kind of good. 3 mana 2/1. It does trade for a good amount of cards. Same power and toughness as Eternal Witness, but it gets you 2 mana into your hand, so it digs through your deck a lot better. Granted, Path to Exile and Anger of the Gods blow this out of water, but you can still sacrifice it to draw a card, which is kind of nice. So it has a little kind of Solemn Simulacrum-esque feel to it. Granted, if you're running this, you might as well run in Solemn Simulacrum, but here's a card that can be added in for some sort of fun. Also, to note that this is also a common, so if any local game store is trying to build a Pauper, a modern Pauper feel, a modern Pauper tournament format or whatever, this would be a really good card in place of Solemn, because Solemn is an uncommon, or no, he's a rare. But yeah, so this actually adds support to that. Another ramp, it's not the best. This would be more of a standard card. Search library for a plain, swamp, island, mountain, or forest card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. This is a type of card I can see making it into standard. And so yeah, that's what I just wanted to say. Here's a card to be seen into standard. And that is the end of the list on this video. Tell me what you think, what you like about the list, in the comments below. Honestly, look into all the videos I have. I know they may not be properly edited like some pro editing YouTubers out there, because I'm new to this, but I want to get my idea out there so other people could maybe pick up on the ideas and look into spreading it out there. Mainly because I want to see some more cards thrown into Modern outside of, obviously, the newer cards, which are exciting. I don't have a problem with that. I just want to see some of these older cards, because I would like to play with them sometime in Modern. See what I can build a strategy around them. Will some of them be added? Will some of them not? Who knows? But yeah, this is HK58, and have a wonderful day.